Hey guys, welcome back to Read Like a Man. My name is Paige. I'm here to help you find books that equip and inspire you to live with more strength, courage, mastery, and honor. Today I want to talk about 5 self-improvement books that have radically changed my life. So we're going to jump right into it. The first one is The Green Beret and You by John Giduck. This is a book that I read a lot of years ago. I really want to go back and read it again because it's been a super long time, but it is something that has a passage in it that comes to mind all of the time. And it's this idea of who are you when no one's looking? And for some reason, the way that he communicated this in this book, he was talking about, like, if you notice trash on the floor, or like he was specifically talking about being in a bathroom and you throw your paper towel at the trash can and it misses, right? And he's like, normally, we would just keep walking and just move on. Like, oh, I'll just leave it for somebody else to clean up. And he talks about it in this sense of, is that really who you want to be? Even when no one is there, no one's watching, do you want to be the person that leaves something around for someone else to take care of? Or are you going to be the person who takes care of the problem in the moment, especially if you're the one that created it? And that is just something that has stuck with me. Literally every time I go into a public restroom, I'm throwing my paper towel away, I think of that. And if I miss, or if I see paper towels on the floor, I sit there and I go, okay, is this the person that I want to be? The guy that sees the mess, but then ignores it and doesn't do anything about it? Or do I want to be the person that goes and addresses it because I can, not because it's my job, not because I have to, but because that's the kind of man I want to be. And like I say, I can't really tell you a whole lot else about this book, but I remember that clear as day. And it comes to mind at least once a week that, like, man, this is who I want to be. And this is the opportunity to live that out each and every day. And in these tiny, tiny little moments. So highly recommend this book. It's really, really, really good. And it's definitely one I'm going to be going back to this year. Next is You Need a Budget by Jesse Mecham. I have used the YNAB software for 7, 8 years now, and I love it. This is the best software. Their You Need a Budget software is the best budgeting software I've ever used, and I've used a ton of them. And Jesse's mindset, his 4 rules about how to work with your money just makes so much sense to me. And they helped bring the conversation together with my wife in a way that we could both get on board and work together with it. This book is wonderful. He's very grace-filled and very practical. And if you use the YNAB software, or if you're interested in using YNAB, this book is a must-read because it helps understand his mindset and how he came about the 4 rules that YNAB uses. So highly recommend that one. Next up, we have Deep Work by Cal Newport. This book radically changed how I approach work, how I think about work, and how I think about focus. This is an incredibly inspiring book talking about the power of being able to focus, especially in a modern world that lacks the ability to focus like crazy. We're all distracted all the time. We multitask all the time. I'm guilty of it just the same way you are. And this book really inspires me every day in my work to sit down and focus. Same thing I'm doing with this video, just sitting down and making the video, being not distracted by anything else, just getting the work done. This book has radically changed every day of my working life. So highly recommend that one. Next up, we have Crushing by T.D. Jakes. This book gave me so much peace and a time a couple of years ago, and even kind of still ongoing. This idea of God crushing us in order to turn us into something else and to turn us into the next thing that he needs us to become. And this book was a lifeline for me at the time that I read it. And it's kind of one of those books that if you're supposed to read it or not, because you'll see it. You'll see the title, you'll see the subtitle of it, and you're just like, oh my gosh, yes, I need that. And so whenever that feeling comes that you're like, that is like crushing, that is me right now, read this book. It will help you understand what's going on. It'll help you understand how God's working in your life. And it'll just give you grace to continue through that season. This is one of my favorite books. I read it and listened to it. I picked up a copy. I read it again. I'm about to read it again. It's literally that good. It will save your relationship with God in the really, really hard times because it will give you understanding that you've never had before. So definitely recommend that one. And finally, Love and Respect. I always joke that Love and Respect is the marriage book that I would write if I wrote one. I've had an idea for a marriage book for a lot of years, and I ended up reading Love and Respect, and I was like, this is basically it. Like everything that he says is everything that I would say. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience. This book will make things clear in a way that not many other books do, and it will give you tools to work through problems in your marriage. Specifically, it will give you ownership of your end of the deal, right? We all like to say, well, she's not, being respectful, so I'm not going to be loving, or he's not being loving, so I'm not going to be respectful. And Emerson just does a great job of convicting you to like, that's not the issue. Like the issue is not what they're doing or how they're acting. The issue is you. You have to decide how you're going to act regardless of how that person acts. And when you act correctly, then you give them the opportunity to act correctly in response to you. And so definitely one of my favorite marriage books of all time. And I use the principles that he talks about every single day in my relationship with my wife. And highly, highly, highly recommend that one. So there's 5 for you. If you need something good to pick up and take a look at and read, grab any one of these. I highly recommend them to anyone out there. And let me know if you have read them, or if you do read them, let me know. Put a comment down below. There'll be another video up here that you can watch if you're looking for something else. And other than that, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you in the next one.